Hi everyone, welcome to this poster presentation. I am Amanda Joyce and I am an Associate Professor of Psychology at Murray State University, and I am also a mom to a 4-year-old daughter, and I was inspired by my interest in developmental psychology along with my personal experiences during the pandemic to collect some data on stress and burnout and all of the difficult things that were happening to parents during the pandemic era. And so just kind of looking into the background of research on this topic, it is clear that COVID-19 has introduced parents to unprecedented sources of stress, and we know that even without stress, parents can run into a lot of difficulties. They can not be confident in their parenting, they can experience depression, fatigue, they can feel like they're not supported. Things can be difficult for parents. And we know that there are some things that can kind of make things a little bit smoother for parents. So mindful parenting is a technique that can involve really being there in the moment in your parenting. Inhibitory control is a special type of processing, cognition, but also a piece of your temperament that involves being able to withhold something. So you feel like eating that cookie and you can say, no, I'm not going to have that cookie. Being able to withhold in that way is something that can decrease parental stress and make things a little bit better for kids who are living in the moment with those parents. And so I wanted to see if these sorts of good things could help to counteract some of the bad things that were going on during the COVID-19 pandemic. And so I reached out with the help of 2 undergraduate students to 74 parents. Interestingly, I put out the call for data from parents, and I heard back exclusively from moms. And moms who participated in this study filled out a number of different scales, including the Perceived Stress Scale, the Copenhagen Burnout Inventory, the Adult Temperament Questionnaire to try to get at their inhibitory control, Mindfulness and Parenting Scale, Parenting Sense of Competence Scale, and a Demographic Scale. And I looked at how all of these variables were related to one another. And there's a lot going on in this table here that I welcome you to explore in more detail, but I want to focus on this first column and the last 2 rows. The first column tells us that there is a correlation in the expected direction between perceived stress and burnout. Okay, so the higher the stress, the higher the burnout across different contexts. The higher the stress, the lower the inhibitory control, the lower the mindfulness and parenting, and the lower the perceived competence. So parents who were stressed were more burnt out, and parents who were stressed had lower inhibitory control, lower mindfulness and parenting, and lower perceived competence. Now, 2 things that the stress did not relate to that I expected it to relate to based on previous literature was the number of children in the home and the age of the youngest child. So the age of children and the number of kids in the house didn't increase or decrease stress. But interestingly, if you look way over on the right side of those last 2 rows, you can see that when there were more kids in the home and when those kids were younger, the combination of those 2 things, parents weren't feeling as good about some things. They felt less mindful in their parenting. They felt like they had less inhibitory control. They felt less perceived competence. So it seems to have impacted those variables just in slightly different ways than a simple mechanism explained through stress. So why do we care? Well, it means that potentially we have the ability to recognize some parents who are going to be at risk for developing stress and burnout, and that we potentially can give these parents tools to overcome that, like teaching them how to be mindful in their parenting, teaching them how to feel more competent in their parenting, and teaching them how to improve their inhibitory control to help deal with those impulses in the moment. So I'll be around the booth in and out. I would love to chat with you. Thank you for coming here today. Bye.